and some people, like, you might push in too hard at first, and it can be uncomfortable. So you just kind of get used to, like, how far you're actually supposed to go in. And when I first started doing it, I couldn't even see anything. So you just have to, like, learn, because, like, your ear canal is like a S shape, so you have to, like, learn to, that's why pulling up and back helps straighten it out. So you just kind of have to take that into consideration. And when you first start looking at things, you don't know what's normal, abnormal, but the more you do, you get to, like, get a better idea of what's normal and abnormal.
You could just take a quick look at otitis media, since that's, if you have kids, you've heard of this one, and maybe some of you have dealt with this quite a bit.
Yeah, see how there's, like, the yellow fluid behind there? Still actually surprisingly able to see the
I was just thinking that too.
Yeah.
Like, that's supposed to be diagnostic, I thought. But.
Yeah. But I mean, we can also tell by, we also do, like, other cross-checking, like TIMPs, which is, like, puts pressure in the middle ear and can tell if there's fluid or negative pressure.
So is that swimmer's ear?
This
is a middle ear infection. So swimmer's ear is your ear canal. I should let Jen tell you.
I wonder if they even have it on here.
Do they have PE tube in any of those?
Yeah, that's what I was looking for too.
Yeah.
This was like a tube that was inserted, and then
That's not good.
I guess it's like a tube, and now it's like the fluid that came out. They said it was like a year ago they got this.
Wow.
What is the criteria for inserting tubes? Do you know?
The ENT does that. We don't do that, but I know some people, ENTs do it like really quick. They just make a little incision and then they insert the tube in.
Like, how many infections do you have to have? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, I just know if it's like really chronic. I don't know exactly how many. Yeah, but I had a lot of ear infections as a kid and I never had tubes, so I guess it's all to just preference on the parent as well.
I talked to an ENT about it, and they said, well, they try to do a quality of life measure to say, well, how's the family being impacted by this? Because there were, one family who liked to, it wasn't as big of a deal for them to come in, and they had other siblings who didn't have tubes, so they said, oh no, we'll wait. And then in a case of another family where it had happened chronically in succession, and it was a huge burden on the family, and they offered that as an option, and they took it immediately. So some of it was that way. Like, I found that ENT said that it was the same thing with, like, tonsillectomy. It was another one where they said, well, what's happening with your quality of life? So.
How does inserting the tubes help address the infection?
Well, that's more of just like, they put the slit, like the fluid is literally behind the eardrum, so they put a little slit in, and then the tube helps drain, keeps the fluid, or helps the fluid drain out. Yeah.
It's not a lot of fluid. I mean, it's not like you feel.
See, it's not like a constant, like, it's just like little kids get more ear infections because they're eustachian tubes that come from the nose to the ear. They're more lateral than at an angle, so that's why they get a lot of fluid backed up, and they put the tubes in to release it, the pressure.
Great.
Any other questions?
All right, thank you. All right, so there's a link now in Blackboard.
Do we do it after everyone? Yeah, it's more just like because of the nature of the questions, it's more of
I think The idea is to think about this in relationship to working with an audiologist or whoever it is that you're working with in that particular case. So think about this as it relates to audiology when you do these questions. It's in
Week 8.
week 8 folder.
We can't specify audiology, so are we on the.
Yeah, it's just questions.
Yeah, it's just the. Do you want me to put in one where they type in what they who they're looking at? This question.
They'll be time stamped though, right? Can we do it that way? Well, no, just based on when they come in, I guess, for this first one, but we can also do it that way.
Okay.
Oh, you just brought everything down here, Shirley? Okay. Oh, okay.
So we didn't have to wait.
Right, sorry. Oh, I ended up just taking extra time. We could have just moved on.